The Bank of Canada has raised the overnight rate by 1%, and this has slammed the brakes on the real estate market. If you're a buyer or a seller, or you've been following the real estate market at all since the pandemic began, you know it's been a roller coaster of a ride. Starting off with interest rates being slashed incredibly low to help stimulate the economy when the pandemic first started. This created intense buyer demand that has rapidly increased throughout the pandemic, causing a rapid acceleration in sale prices, firm offers over asking things to sell in a few days, and just this absolute craziness, causing governments to introduce their 18-point plans for affordable housing, and it's all come winding down. Let's go back to March, when the Bank of Canada first announced their first rate hike due to inflation that has absolutely gotten out of control. The first one was 0.25, followed by two 50-point hikes, and most recently in July was a 1-point hike that really surprised people. Most people thought they were going to do a 3/4 hike, but they came out wanting to get even more ahead of inflation and did a full 1-point hike. So this has priced many people out of the market. If you could qualify before, there are people that can no longer qualify for a mortgage. Also, it's put a lot of people on the sidelines, as many people are worried that the market is going to crash. Consumer confidence is the lowest it's been right now since the 2008 housing crash in the United States. There's not a lot of buyers right now. A lot of people are on the sidelines. So what has this done to housing prices? What has it done to the real estate market? Well, let's start off with the greybruce average sale price. Everybody loves that, so let's start there. In March, it peaked at $700,000 for a single family home in greybruce. It has gone down to $599,000 in July. So that's down about 15% since the peak in March. Let's take a look at month of inventory. So month of inventory, as you can see, January, February, March was incredibly low. This was what was fueling the market. There was nothing for sale, so there was rapid price acceleration and many things selling over asking. April, May, June, month of inventory has increased. July, we're in a balanced market trending towards a buyer's market with all the new inventory and active listings that are sitting on the market. Next, let's take a look at greybruce sales. That's the dark blue. That's the amount of sales that are happening. You can see that's been trending down as the interest rate hikes continue along. Also, light blue is the amount of active listings. Look at what it is in July compared to what it is in February, almost tripled in active listings on the market. This last slide is very interesting. Sales have absolutely plummeted. Not sale prices, but sales. So the amount of transactions that are taking place. Take a look at July. You'll see 2022 is very different from 2021, 2020, 2019. The amount of sales in July is lower than you see in your winter months of December, January, and February. Very low. This is what the interest rate hikes have done. What does this mean going forward? Well, if you're someone that's thinking the market is going to crash, there's a few things you may want to consider. Number one is Canadians have a ton of equity in their home. Also, buyers are stress tested when they get approved for their mortgages to be able to make payments at higher rates like we're seeing today in case we run into these times, so they know they can make those payments. Finally, we've got high immigration, we've got low unemployment rates, and there still is not enough homes to meet the demand that is out there, although there are a lot of people that are transitioning into rentals during this time. Speaking of selling, you need to be prepared for a more difficult market. You have to price your home lower than your neighbor that just sold it a few months ago. That sale price is no longer applicable. You can't look at that. You must price it lower, and you must be forward thinking with your price, as the market probably will not improve until interest rate hikes stop and go back down and inflation is under control. If you have a variable rate mortgage, you may want to talk with your lender to see what kind of rate you have. Is it an adjustable variable rate or a fixed variable rate? If it's fixed, you're going to want to make additional monthly payments so you're not taken off guard when your time comes to renew. If it's adjustable, your payments are going to increase, so you may have to cut a few other things or whatever you need to do to keep making those payments. Keep making those payments. We will get through these times. Things will get better. And remember, historically, variable rates have always been better. If you had a variable rate throughout the pandemic, you paid off a ton of principal with the incredibly low rates, and it likely still hasn't even caught up even with the higher rates, so you're still doing quite well. Things will get better. We just need to keep going on with it. If you bought during the peak and you're feeling a bit of buyer's remorse, remember, you bought the home because you love the home, you like the neighborhood, you like the location, you like things about the house. Nothing's changed but the price, and in some neighborhoods, the price hasn't even really changed that much. Real estate goes up and down. It will go up again. Historically, it will always go up. Ignore the noise. Check back in a few years to see how things are doing. And I can't stop thinking about the words of Warren Buffett. He says, be fearful when everyone is greedy and greedy when everyone is fearful. Right now, there are a lot of people very fearful to buy, and there are some good opportunities out there for buyers to be able to take advantage of deals, find a house in an A-plus market at a price that's much more affordable than it was 3-4 months ago. So if you're thinking of buying, it could be a good time if you're comfortable with the interest rate you're gonna take on. That's all for now. If you'd like to chat real estate, I would love to talk with you. I'm Tim Matthews from the Mark and Tim Real Estate team with Century 21.